From the gameplay trailers we've been given so far, this feels like the shot in the arm this series desperately needs. God, I hope it's good.
Jimmy! Come on, Jimmy! You know you owe me!
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
It wasn't good. There is not going to be a positive segment to this video. Not one. I don't know how you backpedal even further than you already do with your last game, but they somehow made it worse in what I think is every possible scenario. Now, for the record, I have not bought this game.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga alert.
Is it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I
alert.
think so.
I am not going to buy this game. You may be thinking to yourself, well, how can you properly critique something if you haven't played it?
So you've barely played this game, and yet you hate it this much?
No, I hate it way more than this much.
You can't form an opinion on a game you've barely played. It's unethical. That's why we have HR.
So I should play 10 hours of a game I already know I don't like just to have an opinion on it?
Well, if you don't like it, don't play it.
But how would I know I don't like it if I don't play it?
Well, just stop doing stuff!
This will not be a critique on the gameplay. This will be a critique on the game as it was released and it came out. This will be a critique on the monetization and the biggest problem with this fucking game and the shitty-ass community that doesn't even like their own game. Buckle up, everyone. This will not be enjoyable. How did this game release on Nintendo Switch?
You
For
stupid.
all intents and purposes, a last-gen system because it came out during the generation of the PS4 and the Xbox One. Why? How?
Yo, you lagging! Nah! Yo, nah!
I mean, like, they did that for MK11, and that also looked like garbage, but it didn't look as bad as MK1 does. I understand this is next-gen system, but I'd argue they just didn't optimize it well. That's my thing. I'd argue if they could get Doom Eternal to run on the Switch, they could have gotten Mortal Kombat 1 to run decent on the Switch. Like, why does it look as bad as it does? People said this looks like an N64 game. First of all, those people are stupid because they don't actually know what an N64 game looks like. But besides that, why is it on Switch? Like, for genuinely, somebody argue this to me. Why is it on Switch and not on the last-gen systems? I'd argue that the last-gen systems could handle this. They already have, like, 2 Mortal Kombat games. Why not this one? Doesn't make any sense to me. But now that I think about it, maybe it's good that they didn't make cross-gen, because they haven't even implemented crossplay, which they said they were going to implement, which, to my knowledge, is still not in the game yet, when there are people who have been demanding it forever, and Street Fighter 6 dropped with crossplay and cross-gen, and the Tekken 8 closed beta that's not even officially out yet dropped with crossplay. How? How do you fumble this hard? You can't even deny matches.
The thing about Combat League is that you're not going to be able to deny the matches. You can't, like, cherry pick or anything. Whoever you match into, that's who you're going to get. So if it's somebody that's, you know, maining a character that you don't like, someone whose record is insane, you can't do anything about it. You just got to play it out.
So if you get into a match with somebody who has a terrible connection, you're just stuck with it. You can't do anything about it. Again, Street Fighter 6 dropped with that. Tekken 8 closed beta dropped with it. I don't understand how you're getting beat out by a closed beta test. What are you doing? There was a multitude of features that were not included in this game at launch that they had to patch in, such as pinning moves to the screen so that you could, like, actually see the moves you're doing, which was in every single previous Mortal Kombat game at launch. Again, I don't know how you just leave a feature like that out of the game, but sure. The inputs for special moves and brutalities was messed up so that you couldn't properly input them because they were just the wrong buttons. Again, I don't know how you messed that up. You know a feature they didn't leave out at launch? Player 1 advantage. To summarize, Player 1 advantage is when Player 1 gets to do combos that Player 2 can't, and Player 1 will drop out of Player 2's combos earlier than they should. That does sound very annoying because it is, and it gives Player 1 the advantage, as the name states. It's very stupid, and it was also an MK9, which I don't know why it was at launch in this one. They patched it out, but the fact that this bug was even in the game in the first place is just unacceptable. We already had this before. Why is it back? When the Omni-Man DLC dropped, for some reason, he just had different damage values depending on whether you were playing on console or PC.
You sack of corn syrup. You ain't done no science, no research, no nothing.
How? Why? That's such an important thing that just slipped through the fingers, but I guess it wasn't that important, right? Tremor dropped with unique frame data, so if you played a Scorpion or Sub-Zero and did a move with him, he would be -7 on block, which would mean that Scorpion and Sub-Zero were safe to attack first. Kung Lao had -8, which would be slightly unsafe. Everybody else had -16 frames. Can somebody explain to me how that even happens? Some people argue that it's a bug and that they'll patch it later. Some people will argue that it was an intended feature to buff the lower tiers. Neither of these points are good and they invalidate each other. If it's a bug, that means they left 3 characters with completely different frame data from everybody else, or they gave everybody the wrong frame data and they're supposed to have -7, or they're all supposed to have -16. Why do they have different ones? Now, on the other side of the argument, maybe it's a feature. Maybe it was supposed to be to buff the lower tier characters. Why not just buff the lower tiers? Why do you have to pay for a person to get better frame data? That doesn't work! That's so counterintuitive. Just buff the lower tiers. You may be thinking to yourself, all games drop with bugs. They get patched out eventually. Why are you complaining so hard? These bugs and features are like integral to making this game function properly, and when you leave them out or you don't fix these easily fixable, should never have even been conceived in a thought of a programmer's mind in the first place. Oh no! Begs the question, what were they doing the entire time? What were they doing with the time and money that they had? Oh, they must have been spending the time to get the rights to John Cena. You can't even see the dude! Can somebody please explain to me why the single player, again, you can only play by yourself single player mode, Invasions, is required with an internet connection? I can hear you saying, oh, the seasons, Smokey, the seasons. You can't access the seasons without internet connection. Just don't have the seasons be offline. It is one of the few ways to get a majority of the skins in this game, and you can't even actually unlock anything if you don't have connection to the internet. Again, this is a single player mode. You do not play this with anybody else. They did this in MK11 and it upset me there.
Well, I was jumping on to play some online matches in Kombat League, but the fucking servers are down again. Can I play online, please? My internet's fucking fine, thank you. Hello? Netherrealm! Do you see that shit? I was playing as Shang Tsung 2 fucking seconds ago. They've taken him from me! That's it. We were gonna play online, but I can't play Invasion.
Why do I need access to the internet for a mode that does not ask me to play with anybody else? All it's at, oh, because it wants to save my stats? Speaking of saving my stats.
So the servers are currently down. I want to... Okay, yeah, I want to continue even though the servers are down. Let's see what happens. Do I have access to all the content that I paid for? The answer is no. I cannot play as Shang Tsung at the very moment because he is tied to whatever fucking server NRS has up there. Literally, I can't play with this guy.
Could you imagine going someplace like the grocery store, putting a few things in your cart, going up to the cashier, asking how much, you make an offer, and they just get insulted by the offer, take your money, and don't let you have the stuff that you paid for? You'd be pretty pissed off too.
Apparently, player 2 can't use costumes that player 1 has if they don't have an account. So imagine you make a character, you make a Sub-Zero, and you want your friend to play as that Sub-Zero and they want to use that skin. If they don't have an account, they just can't use the skin. And it's not a bug, it was an intended feature. They literally posted it. Again, why? They didn't even do that in MK11. In MK11, you could just play with the costume. Even if you made it on your main account, somebody else wanted to use it, they could just do that. Just all of a sudden they backtracked on it. Again, why? It's like they're trying to be the worst game ever. Now, a counter argument might be that, oh, what about Street Fighter 6? That game came out and it's had its fair share of bugs. I'm sorry, I don't think their bugs lasted for as long as they did, and they also weren't missing core features that just should be in their respective series. They weren't missing that. Like, sure, there were a couple characters that had a couple insta-kills in the beginning and, like, 0 to deaths, but they weren't intended, and they got patched out, like, a couple days, maybe a week later at the most. They got patched out, like, instantly. This other stuff, I'm pretty sure it's not even corrected yet. It's probably because they were too focused on the monetization of this game, which is a funny way to transition to the next part about why I hate this game. The monetization and these worst business practices I've seen, I think, possibly in my life. The shop and its market prices. We're getting a math lesson today, boys and girls. Let's start with MKX. So originally, when this game dropped, it got a combat pack that cost $20. Each character in that pack was priced at $4.99. So if you do tax, it's technically $5. But 4 times 5, that's $20. That's the same price as the combat pack, plus you get a bunch of extra skins. So the value equates. Prices make sense, right? Now you may say, oh, what about stuff like unlock all crypt items for $19.99 or the easy fatalities for $5? Now, counter argument to both of those, you don't need an internet access to go into that crypt. You can get coins offline and through story mode without needing an internet connection to save anything. So that argument falls flat. And sure, you could say, oh, it's $5 for 30 easy fatalities. That's the same as a character. Doesn't that seem a little inconsistent? I would agree with you there if you didn't get so many easy fatalities in the crypt already. So that also kind of falls flat. The fact that it's there is a little scummy, but again, they're still equally priced, relatively. Moving on from MKX, we move to MK11. Price of a character goes up. Instead of $4.99, it's $5.99. But the combat pack, you get 6 characters plus a bunch of costumes. 6 times 5, that's 30. The combat pack is $20. Still the same price as before. So you're actually getting a way better value this time, according to the price market. Again, equivalent exchange. Then they had a second combat pack. That was $15, and there was only 3 characters priced at $5. 5 times 3, that's $15. That makes sense. Then they dropped the Aftermath expansion with 3 more characters, a new DLC story going off the ending of MK11, all priced at $39.99 to $40. Okay, so you take the 3 new characters, all priced at $5. So that's $15. Now, give or take an entire story with brand new fights and dialogue, that's a lot of money. I don't think it's unrealistic to say that's like $20. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. So a $39 price point seems pretty fair for me. Now, they did include a Fortnite-esque shop, so now there's currencies to pay. However, the cheapest currency is $4.99. That is $1 less than a character, and it's actually $1 less than a majority of the DLC skins in this game. So the currency that you pay for is not valued as much or more than the characters that you're paying for, the costumes. Unless, of course, you pay for more crystals, because as you go up in amount of currency, you have to pay more. But again, all of it is less than the characters themselves. Not MK1. Now let's get this out of the way. These games were all originally priced at $60, excluding MK1, which dropped at $70. Now they have gone down in price. MKX is currently $20, MK11 is $49.99. Mortal Kombat 1 is priced at $69.99, which is $70. That is $10 more than what a game usually goes for. Keep that price point in mind. The new combat pack is $40. Okay, $20 more expensive than the last 2 packs. It's the both of those packs combined. What do you get? You get 6 characters, you get 5 or 6 brand new cameos to the game, priced at $40. However, here's where the issue lies. The DLC characters that you get to play as are priced at $7.99. That's $2 more expensive than the last game, which in a sense is understandable. These games look gorgeous and they're a lot more detailed. They get more detailed every game. So I'd understand if they needed to be more expensive, but the prices aren't consistent. Okay, so characters that you play as are priced at $7.99. That's $8. 7 times 6, that's 42. Plus all the cameo characters, that adds up to be a lot more expensive. Alright, bro, fuck the math lesson. Why is the DLC the same price as the currency? Why is the one-time bonus that gives you 850 dragon crystals and an exclusive scorpion skin also the same price as a DLC character. This makes no sense. A currency is priced as the same value as a character. A fully modeled, with a fatality, with possible brutalities, and other skins that they're going to get eventually, those are considered the same price. No, they're not! No, they are not! Those are not the same price. To put this in layman's terms, would you rather spend $5 to get a sandwich, or would you rather spend $5 to get $2 worth of in-store credit to put towards your next sandwich? Doesn't that sound fucking stupid? Because it is! Now I can hear you saying, oh, why are you complaining about the currency prices? They gotta make the money somehow with the in-game store. Maybe don't make your lowest price currency the same price as the thing that actually brings value to your fucking game. But let's just talk about the actual playable characters. Omni-Man, who is currently out at the moment, $7.99. Or hell, even Shang Tsung, who's also $7.99, who is a pre-order character. Both of which are priced at $7.99. $8. Do you know what Omni-Man and Shang Tsung and Sindel and Liu Kang and Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero's voice line announcer packs are worth? $10. Those previous skins I mentioned with Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liam, and Natara, also $10. A goddamn fatality. You had, in the past games, you had free fatalities in the form of classic fatalities MKX. You had free friendships. You had DLC characters that you didn't have to pay for the fatalities. You had free brutality updates. You had all that. Now all of a sudden, we gotta pay for a 10, 12 to 30 second cutscene.
So I'm gonna pay you $100 to fuck off.
And if for some reason you haven't been paying attention to any of this, Omni-Man is $7.99, priced at $8. His own fucking announcer voice lines are priced at $10, meaning that his announcer has more intrinsic value than the actual fucking character you get to play as. Let me ask you a question. What do you think took more time and money? Getting J.K. Simmons into that booth, getting the rights to use that character, giving him voice lines, giving him fatalities, giving him brutalities, giving him special moves, giving him regular moves, modeling him so that he can grab every character in the game to fatality them, modeling them so the brutality works right with them, and modeling him getting brutality and fatality and giving him his own color palette. Or just getting J.K. Simmons into the booth so he can record some lines and dialogue.
I'm about to blow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Might I add, this is a $70 game. You are going to pay $10 to hear a different voice line. You're going to pay $10 for different skins on your characters. You're going to pay $10 to kill someone brutally.
Need to talk to the guard about something? It costs you money. Need to hire a bodyguard to help you fight? It costs money. Need to get a hint about what to do? Money. Need to buy the map back from the grandma lady because she just takes it from you after you complete it and sells it back to you for most of the money she gave you while mapping it? It's gonna cost a lot of money. Which is what I'm getting at and explaining, okay?
When people started to learn that, oh man, we actually don't like the prices of this fatality because that's fucking stupid. WB Games, NetherRealm Studios, whoever the fuck said it, were like, guys, we hear you and we understand your complaints. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna keep the price the exact fucking same, but if you did buy it, you'll get the winter themed and the Thanksgiving themed fatality free of charge. Those are $10, by the way, and it comes in a $30 pack. Get the fuck out. They backpedaled. This was a win-win scenario for them regardless of the outcome. They won if we didn't say anything because that meant they were going to keep charging us $10 for it, which again, they still haven't changed the prices for, so they still won in that regard. And if we did complain, they were going to act like, oh, that was a mistake on our part. We didn't mean to do that and give us a reward to take our minds off of what we were just complaining about. I don't know who to blame for this. I don't know whether to blame NetherRealm because they even allowed the prices to get this bad or WB for telling NetherRealm to set these fucking prices. I guess I wouldn't have as big of an issue, but there's not really a good way to get the goddamn dragon crystals because they're premium currency. You have to buy it with real money. There's not really good ways to grind it out.
I mean, when you think about it, it's definitely a really weird and even philosophical mechanic that toys with the idea of a worst case scenario of capitalistic greed. I mean, boobies.
I discovered something when I dipped my toes into the MK community. When I made 2 MK videos, when I started getting really hyped for Mortal Kombat 1. And I started seeing news about it. And I started seeing all the things that I've been seeing. I started to realize something. I don't think I like Mortal Kombat anymore. I don't like a lot of the modern games. I don't like the community. I don't like what it's become. I don't like Mortal Kombat anymore. Looking at just my videos alone, I was, rightfully, at least in the first one, harassed for my opinion on a topic about a game that offers customization that does not live up to the customization, and I was told that I was stupid because, oh, you can't set a rope on fire. The rope would burn because it's on fire. That wouldn't make any sense. So they dropped a couple classic skins. They got Deadly Alliance Scorpion, Deadly Alliance Sub-Zero. They had like a Deception Lee May, Deadly Alliance Natara. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Couple nitpicks I have though. One, why is Scorpion's head not a flaming skull? Going by the logic of this community, according to a rope, wouldn't the fleshy meat of a body burn into a skull that's on fire? I'm just saying, if a rope can burn, why not the fleshy meat of person? Oh, but no, that's different though, because he's a pyromancer. Shut your I complained about a customization feature in a game that advertises customization on the back of the box. And I was met with people telling me that it wasn't realistic for the thing that I wanted to happen because it wouldn't make sense realistically. Ah, man, I forgot about that. I forgot. Mortal Kombat was really well known for its realism.
Here's Johnny.
Which brings me to my final point. You guys do not like Mortal Kombat. You like the concept of Mortal Kombat. You don't like it for its fighting, for its characters. Hell, I don't even think you like the game. You just like it because you get to see everybody brutally murder each other in grotesque ways. You like the spectacle of it. No other fighting game I have ever seen has had a community go, oh, dude, I can't wait to see how I can fucking murder somebody. You look at Street Fighter, Tekken, all that stuff, they're always like, oh, dude, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the story, or what they're going to do with the gameplay, or the special. Just like, no. What was once supposed to be the edgy parody of Street Fighter to bring in the masses has now turned into a gluttonous, shameful, rotting corpse of its former self, who no longer cares about its community and making a cool fighting game, but care about the spectacle and how much money it can bring in. I am done with Mortal Kombat. Do not ask me to make more content on Mortal Kombat. I will not make Mortal Kombat. This game series has no longer earned that respect to be given, and the community sure as hell has not earned that respect. I will not be making more future content on Mortal Kombat. Do not ask me. I am done with this series for good. I would like to end this video off with a paraphrasing of the Ego Raptor rant from Sequelitis, because I find that it fits very well with how I feel with this game and this series and what it's become. There is no respect in modern MK. Hey man, I'm respectful. God, shut up! Seriously, you want all this praise like you care, like you really gave it your all in a second reboot of the MK series. But instead, you let MK into a gluttonous money pit. You know what started the franchise was being edgy Street Fighter? What has this far concluded the franchise is a sense of greed. A scummy, time-consuming mess that asks you not for your dedication or even your skill, but instead your inability to think and having a credit card. You ask of us our ability to pick a character, grind for hours, and do it again. You ask of us our willingness to follow a story where the only person who accomplishes anything is who you're playing as. Gee, I wonder who's gonna fucking win that fight. I fucking wonder, Mortal Kombat. You ask of us to take villains seriously and then make them the most incompetent person ever. Mortal Kombat, villainous greed. Is that your title? What's the subtext of the game? Give us your money, you stupid bitch! 10 out of 10! No always online connection to the game that could possibly cripple the entire experience. Best in the series! You're like a spoiled rich kid who gets everything bought for you your entire life. And then, when it comes to making it on your own, you can't take it. You expect everyone to love you because you are who you are. Part of the illustrious Mortal Kombat lineage. Nothing could possibly be wrong with you. You look just like Mortal Kombat. But you're not. You're a pampered, doughy snob wearing nice clothes, expecting to graduate because your daddy's an alum. Why would you need to improve? Why would you need to get any better? Everyone just agrees with their shitty ideas because you're Mortal Kombat. Fuck you, modern MK. Fuck you! I hope I have made my point clear. To all the people who nonstop asked me when I was gonna play Mortal Kombat 1 and make a video on it, here's your video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm not sorry. If you feel like I'm subscribing because of everything I have said up to this point, not getting the game, not planning on making any more Mortal Kombat videos, please unsubscribe. I'll open the door for you, and I'll close it right behind you. I'm not doing it anymore. You clearly don't respect my time, so why should I respect yours? For all the people who do care and have made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. It truly does mean a lot that you managed to sit through this. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care of yourselves. You definitely deserve it. Peace.